Hi, Shell.
And hello to all you other wonderful widows watching.
Do I have a book to talk about this week? Maybe, but I've had one of those very long weeks where I don't want to think, so I just want to get recommended books. This is a lot of orange. Okay, don't mind the iron brew. I kind of got addicted to it. I've been wanting to do this type of video for maybe a little while. The idea has been floating about there, and I thought, save it for a week where I'm just a bit too brain dead, I guess, considering how much I've been working lately. My day job is a little bit much right now, but at the same time, sometimes it's nice to just sit back and not do much. So that's just this. So I thought, go on to StoryGraph, which, by the way, my StoryGraph is linked to my YouTube channel. So if anybody wants to know what I've been reading lately, that is probably the best way to find out what's up next soon. But yeah, they do have a feature of recommendations. So this is the recommendation page, and they've got different tiers based off my survey, my recent reads, similar users loved. I might skip that one just because I don't know. I might look at it later. There's also some other picks based off the genres that I've been reading, and the very last one is out of my comfort zone, which I do like. So I cannot remember the survey whatsoever, but I'm not going to click on the browse. I'm just going to select the first 4 that have been presented to me on the page. So these first 4. So first we have something called Haven by Claire Kent. Maybe Jackson would be different if he were in love. No. Oh god. If he were in a relationship. Oh god, is this a romance? Or if the world outside this room hadn't fallen into violent chaos. And I'm back into being interested. Oh, that just says a lot about my reading habits. Or just, does that say about me or the reading habits? Because I don't care about romance, but when a book is violent, I don't know, maybe that's a... Hadn't become a consistent war, we have no choice but to fight. Oh, now there's the intrigue. Maybe he would take his time, be softer, gentler. Maybe he would smile or even laugh. Now this is intriguing. This one is intriguing. Maybe I would be different too. Oh, this is a first-person book. Those are interesting. Maybe I wouldn't need his hungry eyes. Oh, never mind. No, no. And okay, no, no. I just read the rest of this sentence and no. I don't care for this. But this is how we are together every time. Oh god. How was this recommended to me because of the survey I took? I don't know what questions that were asked. I think this was the survey that I took when I first started StoryGraph. This, no, I'm not interested in this. No. Next up, we have The Animals in That Country by Laura Jean McKay. Out on the road, no one speaks. Everything talks. Hard drinking, foul-mouthed, and allergic to bullshit. Jean is not her usual grandma. I'm sold. I am sold. But then again, I should probably read the full thing. I mean, if the last one is anything to go by, I should not be sold on one line. She's never been good at getting on with other humans, apart from her beloved granddaughter, Kimberly. Instead, she surrounds herself with animals, working as a guide in an outback wildlife park. And although Jean talks to all her charges, she has a particular soft spot for a young dingo called Sue. Now this I want to read. Yes, absolutely. As disturbing news arrives of a pandemic sweeping the country, Jean realizes this is no ordinary flu. Its chief symptom is that its victims begin to understand the language of animals. First mammals, then birds, and insects too. This right up my alley. Right up my alley, except for the insects bit. Do not have a talking spider. Do not. Oh god. As the flu progresses, their unstoppable voices become overwhelming, and many people begin to lose their minds, including Jean's infected son Lee. When he takes off with Kimberly heading south, Jean feels the pull to follow her kin. Setting off on their trail with Sue the dingo riding shotgun, they find themselves in a stark, strange world in which the animal apocalypse has only further isolated people from other species. Bold, exhilarating, and wholly original. Oh, I am so down for this one. This one sounds so interesting. Oh wow. This one, yes, I will gladly pick this up if I find it in the library. That's the thing. That is the issue. I have a book buying ban in place and I'm being recommended some really good stories, so I'm going to have to maybe go to the library to find these. Okay, so next we have The Book of Strange New Things by Michael Faber. I hope I'm saying it right. Okay, so a monumental genre-defying novel that David Mitchell calls Michael Faber's second masterpiece. The Book of Strange New Things is a masterwork from a writer in full command of his many talents. Okay. I don't know much about David Mitchell. I know I have one of his books on my problem shelf. I should probably do a video on my problem shelf just to explain why I have a problem shelf and my book buying ban. Maybe that should be my next video. Okay, so it begins with Peter, a devoted man of faith, as he is called to the mission of a lifetime, one that takes him galaxies away from his wife Bee. Peter becomes immersed in the mysteries of an astonishing new environment, overseen by an enigmatic corporation known only as UIC. This work introduces him to seemingly friendly native population struggling with a dangerous illness and hungry for Peter's teachings. His Bible is the Book of Strange New Things, but Peter is rattled when Bee's letters from home become increasingly desperate. Typhoons and earthquakes are devastating whole countries and governments are crumbling. Bee's face, once the guiding light of their lives, begins to falter. Honestly, I'm not that interested in picking up a book about faith, no matter what their faith is, but I am interested in maybe space travel.
Suddenly a separation measured by an otherworldly distance and defined both by a newly discovered world and another in a state of collapse is threatened by an ever-widening gulf that is much less quantifiable.
While Peter is reconciling, am I saying that right? I can't say it. Honestly, it does sound interesting. I'm just not sure it's the book for me. This is from the survey results, so I don't know why I'm being recommended this book. But StoryGraph thinks it's a book for me. Maybe I should do a follow-up and read each one of these books being recommended by this survey just to see if StoryGraph can recommend a decent book. I don't know, I'll do a follow-up maybe in a year's time. Okay, the next and final book in survey results is Witch and Wizard by James Patterson. And Gabrielle Charbonnet. Sorry, my dyslexia is just making the brain do all kinds of head spins. But, Okay, so the world is changing. The government has seized control of every aspect of society. And now kids are disappearing. For 15-year-old Wisty and her older brother Wit, life turns upside down when they are torn from their parents one night and slammed into a secret prison for no reason they can comprehend. The New Order, as it is known, is clearly trying to suppress life, liberty, and the pursuit of being a normal teenager. While trapped in this totalitarian nightmare, I managed to say that in one go. Oh my god, I did it. I'm so shocked at myself. Wisty and Wit discover they have incredible powers they never dreamed of. Can this newly minted witch and wizard master their skills in time to save themselves, their parents, and maybe the world? Not much to go on, but intriguing. Okay, so based off my recent reads, I have these 4 books. First up, we have Magic, Witchcraft and Ghosts in the Greek and Roman Worlds. Daniel Ogden. You know what? I don't need to read anything more. That title, I'm going to be reading this book regardless. Yeah, I'm reading this book. I just read the first line. I don't need to go any further. It's a full 100-page book. Yeah, it seems like an interesting read. It's a source book. That's all it is. It's a book. It's a source book about magic. I think I have a few, actually. I have a few. So this I will probably find and pick up anyways. Right up my alley. Next up, Am I a Redundant Human Being? Don't answer that. I don't want to know the answer. No. By Mella Hartwig and Curry Pierce. Alosia Smith. I am going to really struggle with this video. On a reason I did not anticipate. Is an ordinary secretary with a burning question: Am I a redundant human being? She's neither pretty nor ugly. Oh god. Please don't tell me it's going to be one of those types of books where it's about appearances. Though she wishes she were hideous, at least that would be something. Okay, now we've immediately subverted expectation. Has no imagination. Everybody has one. No matter what degree your imagination is, you will have one. It's fine. Also, there is as somebody with an active imagination, it can be a burden. Just saying that the attention span is shit. And is forced to live vicariously through borrowed fantasy. Fantasy that is borrowed from books, plays, and even other people's lives. How does that mean you have no imagination? Just because you're reading books and stuff? What? She loves to hate herself. I'm going to love to hate this book. I don't want to read about a protagonist that has a negative view on themselves. Like that. No, it can get a little bad. And loves for other people to hate her too. Oh god, this is a hate book. I do not want to be reading that. In one final guilt-ridden, masturbatory, self-obsessed confession, Aliosia indulges her I do not know how to start with this word besides misogynist. What the? Oh boy, dyslexia is painful sometimes. This word on screen, tendencies. To the fullest, putting her entire life on trial and trying through telling her story. A story, she assures us, that's so laughably mundane, it's really no story at all. To transform an ordinary life into something extraordinary. That's polarizing. On one hand, I don't want to read a story about somebody who hates themselves and is deeply self-critical. And on the other, it's also a little intriguing. Mainly because in uni, the art part, like there was an entire subject based on the mundane and how do we make that less mundane and how important is the mundane. I mean, I think I even did a piece on where I just did tape on a wall, but I drew a lamp. Like I drew the sky, the cityscape in the background, but I focused all the attention on the lamp, which is mundane. You don't think about a lamppost, but I'm specifically calling your attention to the mundane thing that gives you light on the city. It's that kind of thing, that kind of interest, I think. I think that's what it's probably calling on. Maybe. Don't know. Why am I all of a sudden interested in this book? Oh, polarizing indeed. Next up, You Were Here by Corey McCarthy and Sonia Lyo. Lyo. Sorry, I am terrible right now. The description reads, grief turned Joyce into a daredevil. What is it with these names that just throw me off? But can she dare to deal with her past? On the anniversary of her daredevil brother's death, JC, I've just figured out how to say the name, attempts to break into Jake's favourite hideout, the petrifying ruins of an insane asylum, joined by 4 classmates, each with their own brand of dysfunction. JC discovers a map detailing her brother's exploration and the unfinished dares he left behind. As a tribute to Jake, JC vows to complete the dares, no matter how terrifying or dangerous. What she doesn't bargain on is her eccentric band of friends who will challenge her to do the unthinkable, reveal the parts of herself that she has buried with her brother. It sounds interesting, but not for me, honestly. I'm not too convinced by it. I don't know. For my reading taste, it's not up my alley, if that makes any sense. Okay, the 4th and final book in this section. Tell Me 3 Things by Julie Buxbaum. But, oh my god, I feel like I'm a broken record by constantly bringing up the dyslexia. But, this is like really making me struggle. Everything about Jessie is wrong. At least that's what it feels like during her first week of junior year at her new ultra intimidating prep school in Los Angeles. Just when she's thinking about hightailing it back to Chicago, she gets an email from a person calling themselves somebody/nobody, SN for short, offering to help her navigate the wilds of Wood Valley High School. Is it an elaborate hoax, or can she rely on SN for some much needed help? It's been barely 2 years since her mother's death, and because of her father eloped with a woman he met online, Jessie has been forced to move across the country to live with her stepmonster, and her pretentious teenage son. On a leap of faith, or an act of complete desperation, Jessie begins to rely on SN and quickly becomes her life and closest ally. Jessie can't help wanting to meet SN in person, but are some mysteries better left unsolved? Not up my alley, but it's intriguing. It's intriguing. This is the one that really intrigues me. Magical realism pics. White is for Witching by Helen. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. Yeah, I can't find a text-to-speech thing. Oyemi? Please tell me if I said that right. High on the cliffs near Dover, the Silver family is reeling from the loss of Lily, mother of twins Elliot and Miranda, and beloved wife of Luke. Miranda misses her with particular intensity. Their mazy, capricious house belonged to her mother's ancestors and to Miranda. Newly attuned to spirits, newly hungry for chalk, it seems they have never left, forcing apples to grow in winter, revealing and concealing secret flaws. The house is fiercely possessive of young Miranda. Ooh, that is interesting. Okay, The Book of Lost Saints by Danielle Jose Older, I think. An evocative, multi-generational Cuban-American family story with a revolution, loss, violence, and family bonds. Marisol vanished during the Cuban Revolution, her fate unknown and lost to time. Now haunted by atrocities long forgotten, her foul-mouthed spirit visits her nephew, Raymond. I'm just tripping up everywhere. Raymond in modern-day New Jersey, her hope that her presence will prompt her descendant to unearth their painful family history. Raymond launches a haphazard investigation into the story of his ancestor, unaware of the forces driving him on his search. Along the way, he falls in love, discovers a new sense of his own identity, faces a run-in with a murderous gangster, and learns of each lost saint who helped Marisol during her imprisonment under Batista's, I just want to read that as barista, Batista's reign. Uplifting and evocative, The Book of Lost Saints is a meditation on family, forgiveness, and the violent struggle to be free. Sounds quite interesting, but it also sounds quite dark. Like, it could get very dark, that one. I'm kind of speeding through this because I'm realising just how long this is taking. It took so long, my battery died. Oh, on cue. Okay, so next up we have We Ride Upon Sticks. Quan Barry. Woohoo, witches! Acclaimed novelist Quan Barry delivers a tour de female force in this delightful novel. Set in the coastal town of Danvers, Massachusetts, where the accusations began that lead to the 1692 witch trials. We Ride Upon Sticks follows 1989 Danvers High School Falcons field hockey team, who will do anything to make it to state finals, even if it means taping into some devilishly dark powers in chapters dense with 1980s iconography from heathers to big hair. Barry expertly weaves together the individual and collective progress from of this enchanted team as they storm their way through an unforgettable season. Helmed by good girl Captain Abby Putnam, a descendant of the infamous Salem accuser Ann Putnam, and her co-captain Jen Forenza, whose bleached blonde claw sees and knows all. The Falcons prove to be wily, original, and bold, flaunting society's stale notions of femininity in order to find their glorious true selves through the crucible of team sport and, more importantly, friendship. I have like one qualm with this, and that's the witch trials. The witch trials keep getting pulled up as the descendants of witches, but what made the witch trials a tragedy is that there were no such thing as witches and women were burned or ducked. There's even a ducking bridge close by me that kind of takes away the beauty of that particular street quite a bit for me, just because I know what happened there, just the history of it. I don't know, I kind of feel a little iffy when things do pull on that and go, yes, magic is real and witchcraft from Salem witch trials. Yeah. Okay, last one in magical realism. Oh dear. Seasons in Hippoland. Right, I know I'm just gonna butcher the name. It is on screen. I have no idea how to say it. And I don't want to butcher it. But that cover is so beautiful and eye-catching. It just pops out of the page. Victoriana. My brain is just not focusing on the easy words that I don't want to attempt the ones that my brain will trip up on, like, at all. So I am very sorry if this is proving to be difficult to watch, as my dyslexia just dissolves my brain progressively. Yikes. So Victoriana is a country ruled by an emperor for life who is dying from an illness not officially acknowledged in a land where truth and facts are decided by the emperor. The elite goes along with the charade. Their children are conditioned to conform. It is a land of truthful lies where reality has uncertain meaning. That is so cool. I want to read that. Mumby, a rebellious child from the capital of Westville, and her brother are sent to live in rural Hippoland, but what was meant to be a punishment turns out to be a glorious discovery of the magic of the land, best captured in the stories their eccentric Aunt Sarah tells them. Most captivating to the children is the tale of a porcelain bowl supposed to possess healing powers. Returning to Westville as an adult, Mumby spreads the story throughout the city and to the entire country. Exhausted by years of endless bleak lies, the people are fascinated by the mystery of the porcelain bowl. When word of its healing powers reaches the emperor himself, he commands Mumby to find it for him, with dramatic consequences for everyone in Victoriana. That is so cool. I want to read that. Oh wow. That sounds so interesting. I want to read that. That is so right. Oh yes, brilliant. I want to read it. I want to read it now. Next up, we have science fiction picks. The Rule of One. Leslie Saunders, Ashley Saunders. Okay, so this is a book one. In their world, telling the truth has become the most dangerous crime of all. In the near future United States, a one-child policy is ruthlessly enforced. Everyone follows the rule of one, but Ava Goodwin, daughter of the head of the Texas Family Planning Division, has a secret. Her mother died to keep, and her father has helped to hide for her entire life. She has an identical twin sister, Myra. For 18 years, Ava and Myra have lived as one, trading places day after day, maintaining an interchangeable existence down to the most telling detail. Like what happened to Monday, where there was 7 twins, all identical and named after the day of the week so that they know what day they're allowed out of the house. Oh boy, I hope it ain't like that. But when their charade is exposed, their worst nightmare begins. Now they must leave behind the father they love and fight for their lives. Branded as traitors, hunted as fugitives, and pushed to live to discover how far they'll go in order to stay alive, Ava and Myra rush headlong into a terrifying unknown. Honestly, I don't care about this one. No, not appealing. Next one, we have Eve of Man. It's another book 1. Giovanna Fletcher and Tom Fletcher. Are people just writing books with their siblings? That sounds like a nightmare. Against all odds, she survived. The first girl born in 50 years. Oh God, oh God, oh God. Oh, that sounds like a nightmare. They called her Eve. Eve lives alone in the tower under the strict gaze of the mothers. She is prized and protected because she is the last girl on Earth. Yeah, I can imagine that'd be bad. Eve has always understood that the survival of the human race is in her hands. Now she's 16 and 3 males have been selected. Oh God, that's icky. Eve knows it's time to face her fate until she meets Bram. Okay, no, 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 no. Here we go. Next one. Unwind. Number 1 in Unwind Dystology by Neil Shusterman. The first twisted and futuristic novel in the perennially. I'm just going to skip this sentence. In America, after the Second Civil War, the pro-choice and the pro-life armies came to an agreement. I don't think they can. Is there going to be a misunderstanding of what pro-choice means? Oh my God. The Bill of Life states that human life may not be touched from the moment of conception until a child reaches the age of 13. Yeah, this is not what pro-choice means. Pro-choicers will not agree to that. It is about bodily autonomy. That is it. I do not want to read this book because that is a stupid, that is stupid. No. Pro-choicers will never agree to that. However, between the ages of 13 and 18, however, a parent may choose to retroactively get rid of a child through a process called unwind. That sounds terrible and I don't see the logic. Just no. That sounds like a dump, but oh, we have a reoccurrence. Science Fiction Picks has also recommended The Book of Strange New Things, which don't think it's up my alley. So next up we have Fantasy Picks. So we have The Giver by Lois Lowry and P. Craig Russell illustrating the graphic novel. I'm being recommended the graphic novel. So The Giver is a modern classic and one of the most influential books of our time. Okay, if you say so. Now in graphic novel format. Placed on countless reading lists, translated into more than 40 languages. In this new graphic novel edition, witness Jonah's assignment as the receiver of memory. Watch as he begins to understand the dark secrets behind his fragile community and follow the explosion of colour into his world like never before. Most of this description is describing the graphic novel and the success of The Giver. Honestly, don't know. Oh, and we have another reoccursion. We have Witch and Wizard by James Patterson again. Here we go. Next one. Riot Baby by Tochi Onyebuchi. Oh dear, I hope I said that right. Okay, so rooted in fundamental loss and the hope that can live in anger, Riot Baby is both a global dystopian narrative, an intimate family story with quietly devastating things to say about love, fury, and the Black American experience. Ella and Kev are brother and sister, both gifted with extraordinary power. Their childhoods are defined and destroyed by structural racism and brutality. Their futures might alter the world. When Kev is incarcerated for the crime of being a young black man in America, Ella, through visits both mundane and supernatural, tries to show him the way to a revolution that could burn it all down. I'm guessing that's where it gets the name, Riot. Honestly, I've never seen the word incarcerated written down before. It's always said, but never seen. But that actually sounds interesting. Don't know why it's in fantasy pigs. I guess it's because of the supernatural power that Ella has, but that sounds cool. Like using magic to create a riot. Burn the system down. The Autonomy Fosbit Files Prologue. Trevor Allen Forrest. The Autonomy does not exist. Fosbit and any files relating to Fosbit do not exist. The Taralen peoples that protect and provide sanctuary for Avitans of Fethrist are not real. The abilities of the Taralen peoples with their heightened skills living in the utopian world are myth. The purpose here mere tales. Rumors of their reincarnations enabling them to live many lives, ridiculous. And there is definitely no magic, none at all. No, really there isn't. Magic is not a thing. There are also no hidden worlds or mythical beings consisting just out of sight. Equally, there are no secret access points to these hidden worlds that don't exist, and there is no unfinished business from the past that is set to destroy, well, anything. There is no disaster looming, anyway, regardless of any potential threat. Yes, I know, I completely forgot about that. I just gave away when I'm filming. Where was I? There's no disaster looming. I got a bloody alert on my phone, okay. Anyway, regardless of any potential threat that may or may not be present, this publication, the Octumni, and any reference to any other beings is a work of fiction. And for the record, Scariodons, should they exist, are perfectly lovely beings whose purpose in life is grossly misunderstood. Just gonna quickly click on. I am not sure what I think about this one. It's been recommended to me, but I don't know. There's the prologue, there's chapter 1 and chapter 2. Don't know. But that's it for Fantasy Picks. Dystopian Picks. Oryx and Clark by Margaret Atwood. And it looks like another book 1. Mad Adam book 1. Onyx and Clark is at once an unforgettable love story and compelling vision of the future. Snowman, known as Jimmy before mankind was overwhelmed by a plague, is struggling to survive in a world where he may be the last human, and mourning the loss of his best friend Clark and the beautiful and elusive Oryx whom they both lived. In search of answers, Snowman embarks on a journey with the help of green-eyed children of Crake. Through the lush wilderness that was so recently a great city, until powerful corporations took mankind on an uncontrolled genetic engineering ride, Margaret Atwood projects us into a near future that is both all too familiar and beyond our imagining. I really need to get into Atwood. I really do. That one sounded so interesting as well. Next up we have the Deluge? Is that how you say Deluge? I don't know. By Stephen Markley. In the first decades of the 21st century, the world is convulsing, its governments mired in gridlock, while a patient but unrelenting ecological crisis looms. America is in upheaval, battered by violent weather and extreme politics. In California in 2013, Tony Petrus, a scientist studying deposits of undersea methane, receives a death threat. His fate will become bound to a stunning cast of characters. A broken drug addict, a star advertising strategist, a neurodivergent mathematician, and a cunning eco-terrorist, an actor turned religious zealot, oh dear, and a brazen young activist named Kate Morris, who in the mountains of Wyoming begins a project that will alter the course of the decades to come. From the Gulf Coast to Los Angeles, the Midwest to Washington, D.C., their intertwined odysseys unfold against a stark backdrop of accelerating chaos as they summon courage, galvanized by a nation, fall into their own fear, and find wild hope in the face of staggering odds. As their stories hurtle towards a spectacular climax, each faces a reckoning. What will they sacrifice to salvage humanity's last chance for a future? I don't think I'm interested in reading something a little too close to home when it comes to eco-disasters, since we are still living in the build-up to eco-disaster after eco-disaster after eco-disaster. I don't think I want to... That's why I like to watch this YouTube channel dedicated to good news every month in terms of our progress to solving these disasters. I don't think I want to... No, this seems like too much of a... If I want to read a dystopia, I don't think I want one close to home. It's too... It's just too depressing. Next one. I think I need to find the English one of this. View editions. Filter editions. Here we go. Memory of Water by Emmy. Okay, if there's an umlaut above the A in a different language, it could mean something really different to how I think it's supposed to be. So I am so sorry if I fail at my attempt. Itrananta? I should know what this sounds like, but I don't. I really don't. I know the dots above an A can drastically change the sound completely, and I have no idea. This is a big claim. An amazing award-winning speculative fiction debut novel by a major new talent in the vein of Ursula K. Le Guin. Ooh, interested already. Global warming has changed the world's geography and its politics. Wars are waged over water, and China rules Europe, including the Scandinavian Union, which is occupied by the power state of New Quyen. In this far north place, 17-year-old Noria Katio is learning to become a tea master like her father. Like Iroh? A position that holds great responsibility and great secrets. Tea masters alone know the location of hidden water sources, including the natural spring that Noria's father tends, which once provided water for her whole village. But secrets do not stay hidden forever, and after her father's death, the army starts watching their town and Noria. And as water becomes even scarcer, Noria must choose between safety and striking out, between knowledge and kinship. Oh, this sounds cool. This sounds really, really cool. So the language is in Finnish. That was recommended to me. So yeah, that sounds like a cool read. After the Flood by Cassandra Montang. Little more than a century from now, our world has been utterly transformed. After years of slowly overtaking the continent, rising floodwaters have obliterated America's great coastal cities and then its heartland, leaving nothing but an archipelago of mountaintop colonies surrounded by a deep expanse of open water. Basically, I'm being recommended dystopians on water, which seems pretty cool. I need to speed through this, so I'm going to stop the recommendation there. I'm not particularly into mystery all that much, but here's the recommendations that I'm being given. But out of my comfort zone, I do find a little intriguing. So the first one that I've been recommended is The Growth of the Soil, Nut Hamsun, with W.W. Worcester translating. And this won a Nobel Prize. Okay. It's an abiding classic of Scandinavian literature, so that's already intriguing. I'm not particularly drawn to classics, but when things win Nobel Prizes, I get intrigued just because you kind of have a high value on something called the Nobel Prize, but honestly, who knows? Who knows? Next up, we have The Architecture of Happiness, Alain de Botton. Highly acclaimed writer and philosopher Alain de Botton turns his attention to interior design and architecture. Is this self-help? Oh dear. What makes a house truly beautiful? Oh, why are many new houses so ugly? I'm guessing. Okay, that's that one. Yeah, I can probably get behind that one. It's about architecture. It's fine. I got interested in architecture for a bit. Next, we have The Last Library by Freya Sampson. You can tell a lot about a person from the library books they borrow, I suppose, but you never know, they could be borrowing it for a friend because they don't have access. I don't know, maybe. And I have another library recommendation. Summer Hours at the Roberts Library by Sue Halpern. From journalist and author Sue Halpern comes a wry, observant look at contemporary life and its refugees. Halpern's novel is an unforgettable tale of family, the kind you come from and the kind you create. I can definitely relate to that. I have a family that I'm not blood related to at all. Okay, so that is what StoryGraph has been recommending to me. Some of these do sound good. However, science fiction has failed me this time. They have not recommended a decent sci-fi. Oh my god. I'm a sci-fi nut and they cannot pick out a decent sci-fi for me. That is not right. I find that to be a bit... I think there's a problem there. There's a problem there. Oh, ish. I swear, if I hit refresh on this, I wonder what it's going to be like every time. Oh dear. But I probably will keep an eye out for these books if I do find them in the library. I am not looking forward to editing this video because I'm realising just how long it is. Oh boy. I wanted an easy video, I did not get an easy video. Never mind. Unless I put this out next week. I might do that. That will give me enough time to edit. Did any of these books spark any interest to you? Have you read any of them? Would you recommend them to me knowing my taste? Or maybe not. I don't know. Some of them do spark immediate excitement, and some of them I don't want to touch with a 10-foot pole. Mainly the first one. Oh, and the one about Unwind. No. Anyways, but yeah, that's what StoryGraph has recommended to me. I hope they can do better in the future. And I hope what they have recommended does pan out if I do find them. But yeah, we'll see. We shall see. Bye, Shell.
And bye to all you other wonderful weirdos watching.
Bye.